Hey fam, this is Leslie from the Wine Concierge, and we are doing a virtual wine tasting today, and I'm so excited to have Tia Roman here. Hey Tia, welcome.
Hi.
Do you
Hello.
I'm sorry, do you prefer Tia Clark or
Oh,
Tia?
it's Tia Clarke. Yes,
Okay,
Roman.
I
Right.
apologize.
That's okay.
I
No, it's okay.
apologize.
It's quite all right.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Not a problem. So, please tell everyone about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So again, I'm Tia Clarke. I am the owner of Roman Clarke Wines. We are a local Maryland wine brand, and I am a local winemaker as well. I started out, well, I say Roman Clarke Wines is a legacy wine brand in that I am continuing on the entrepreneurship journey from my late mom. She died in 2024. I'm sorry, 2020, and she was an entrepreneur in her own right. So carrying on that legacy, but the brand is named after my son. So legacy there as well, passing along legacy and hoping that it'll be enjoyed for generations to come. We started this brand in 2022. And currently, we have five varietals. I import wines from Argentina, four varietals. And then I have one local, which is like my baby because I curated and crafted that wine myself here to the state of Maryland.
Very cool. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do in this entrepreneurial world.
Mhm.
Why did you decide wine?
So, oh, you know what? I've been getting that question a lot lately because I realized when I say that, I'm like, oh, my mom was not in wine. She,
Hmm.
she owned a hair salon, but wines have always been interesting to me. Of course, I enjoy wine. However, I always enjoyed learning about just the intricacies of wine. I'm still learning. I do not attest to know a lot. I'm actually going through certification now, but I enjoy learning about wines and how they're made and the intricacies of how they're made, the different varietals, the different types. So this kept coming to me when my mom passed. Going through like my grief and my pain and therapy, we tried to figure out. My mom always worked in her passion, as I said, she did hair and she enjoyed it. She loved it. So when you lose someone very close to you, it makes you reevaluate things, look at your life, and I wanted to pursue my passions more fervently. And this kept coming to me. It's always been a dream of mine to have a brand, but I did not know where to start. And so, through much, like I said, therapy and prayer, I had a mentor in New Orleans, where I'm from, and since then, I've had plenty of mentors that I've come across along the way, which have helped me, and especially here in Maryland, because Maryland is not easy. But I've always enjoyed, just learning about wine, of course, drinking wine. But now it's a different side of things, and I'm enjoying it. So I wanted to do something that I enjoyed daily, that I looked forward to doing. I don't like the administrative side of things, but certainly
Yes.
certainly learning, about more wines, and there's so many wines I'm learning now that I don't even know about. So many varietals out there.
It is something else, and it's good that you had a mentor in New Orleans
Mhm.
and someone here because it can be it can be it's like a blind man in a forest,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. We don't even talk about licensing, like, you don't hear about that often,
Hmm.
especially from the outside looking in, but that's a beast within itself. Like, licensing is crazy, but it is like just someone set you in a forest and you just trying to find your way your way out, but yeah, it's rewarding in the end, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot, yeah, a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different facets of it.
So how did you and you have a lot of fans out there. Cindy Campbell says hello, and Maisha says hello
Yeah,
too.
my
Um,
girl.
so how did you hook up with, because let's just back up for a second. You
Mhm.
have an Argentinian brand that you're working with, but
Yes.
then you also have, as you mentioned, you have like your own Maryland wine brand too. So how did you connect with both of them and pull them together under your umbrella?
So initially, when I first started, we sampled a lot of US-based wines,
Mm-hmm.
even from California. I actually selected wines from California initially. And my mentor then from New Orleans, great because she helped me, just navigate the beginning process and selecting wines. Started going through, some things within her company. And so it kind of halted things for me with the US wines. And
Mm-hmm.
it so happened that the importer that I work with for the Argentinian wines, he we have office space or under the same management, not in the same building, but
Okay.
the same management. He's in a different building. And they just so happened to do a spotlight day, honestly, for all businesses. You could come and showcase your business, and I did that. I didn't even have lines at the time. I had a website,
Oh,
and
okay.
I had selected, I know, just going out there. I do have, what I did have at one of the tables, is children's books. My daughter and I published children's books, or children's book series.
Oh, wow.
So I had those out there and was
Okay.
selling books.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another table with literally just like a placard with my logo, the logo you see here, the website, and the wine importer I work with. He walked up and he was like, he was looking at the books, and then he was like, "What is this?" And I said, "Oh, I explained it was my wine brand." And he was like, "Well, where do you get your wines from?" And I said, "Well, they're all US based." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm a wine importer." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And so I said, "Well, where do you get your wines from?" And
Mm-hmm.
that's how, so he told me, the different places, Argentina, Argentina being one of them. That's where he get majority of his wines from. And I think within 2 days, I was sampling the Argentinian wines, to
Wow.
taste, and that's how. And people always ask me, why did I go with Argentina or Argentine wines? Um, it was just a difference. Their meticulous winemaking process and the quality, not to take away, because I think we in the US have some great, great, great quality wines. I'm not taking that away at all. But it was just a difference for me and what I had sampled prior to then. And I was sold. I mean, I had a lot to choose from though. He had about 16 to 18 different wines, and I narrowed it down to the four that I wanted, and which was more than I wanted to start with, but
Mm-hmm.
it was really good. And then I was trying to create a portfolio that appealed to everyone, and yeah, and then from there, that's how we got started. And he was just trying to get the wines out to get more visibility within the U.S., um, which he's kind of gotten in his own right. But he allowed me to private label these wines from Argentina. And then the Maryland wines, I actually connected with some of the people that's on here. So Denise and Maisha, Denise of Philosophy Winery, Maisha Fly Girl, and even Cindy from Narciso and Wine Cellars. And I met a winemaker here
Mm-hmm.
and partnered with a winery in Poolesville, to make my own. And what I didn't have in my portfolio was the white wine. So I decided to, do that, as my local Maryland wine, and also to get some licensing as well to sell. Maryland favors local agriculture. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it was important to have the Maryland wine.
So the four, can you name the
Yeah.
four wines that you have? Because I have one of them
Yes.
here that I'm sipping on now.
Have it open too. Yep. So Malbec is one, and these are from the Mendoza region of or Mendoza, Argentina. I have a semi-sweet rosé Malbec. So this is 100% Malbec, semi-sweet, but all residual sugar, which is another thing that I like because Argentina, they can't add sugar. They can't add anything. This is the grape that you're getting. I have a Cabernet. The Malbec and the Cabernet are 2019
Mhm.
um, vintage. The semi-sweet rosé Malbec that I showed you is a 2023, and the sparkling is actually a 23 as well. So this is the last one. This is a sparkling rosé, and this is 80% Malbec and 20% Bernarda grapes. And this is kind of a fan favorite. This and the Malbec. Malbec is my favorite actually. But these are the four that I have from Argentina that we import from Mendoza.
And then the Maryland
And then
wine.
one
Uh-huh.
is the Viognier, and this is 2023 as well. And this is 78% Viognier, 8% Chardonnay to give it a little body, and the rest is Petit Manseng. This is really good, very refreshing. I don't know if you had it yet, but
I did at you
no,
were pouring it at the Wine and
Wine
Culture,
and Culture Fest. Yes, yes,
and it is very good, and it's interesting because like you see petite men saying in Virginia, but you don't see it too much
yes.
in Maryland.
Mhm.
And so I'm hoping it is that little push that winemakers will start using that more in Maryland, because
Yes,
it's
yeah,
really good, great. I mean, Vignette is, I like that
me
a
too.
lot. I think, to be honest with you, I think that was one of the first Maryland grapes that I had, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good."
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, I think that was one of the first ones. Mhm.
I've had it like, well, obviously, like, from France or like a French wine, and then Virginia, I got it a lot of because I mean, Virginia kinda, I don't know, put their stamp on it at one point, like they were, known for.
Oh yeah,
And I've had some
exactly.
great
Mhm.
ones. I've had some really, really good ones, but it is definitely a favorite of mine, of white wines, yes.
Ebony says it is so good. So, Ebony, are you referring to the
Yes,
Vignette,
I
or
know.
the Malbec? Because this is going to be a race to the bottom. Not with them all back. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to drink the whole bottle one night.
I know,
Um,
no, I have that too, so I'm double.
but oh yes, so Ebony said that it is the vignette that she
Okay,
enjoys. Yeah.
okay, yes, yes, I think she got that recently. Ebony lives in Alabama, but she frequents, and Elena is my cousin who's saying the Malbec is my favorite. She frequents the DC area. She's a Howard girl, so HU stand up.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yes. So we also have other Malbec fans too.
Yes, 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 yep. Not just you. Yep, it's or not just us, I should say. Yeah, you know
Hmm.
what I like about the Malbec specifically. A goal of mine is to, I did this with my husband and my cousin as well. They used to only like sweet wines or
Hmm.
sweeter, and I don't want to say too sweet, but my husband liked, like, he favored Riesling. Love the Riesling. And I was like, "You gotta expand your palate a bit, try some," and he's like, and then occasionally he would drink like a semi-sweet red wine, but,
Hmm.
not a drier red, and so I was like, "You just have to have a good one." So I was able to convert he and my cousin over to red wines, and just recognizing a good wine, and I feel like the Malbec is, like a bridge for people that don't necessarily like red wine per se. We usually start them with the semi-sweet, if they like
Right.
sweeter, because a
Uh-huh.
lot of times people want something sweet. And this is why I have this. This is not like my preference per se. I think it is a very good balance though. If I had to drink sweet between, sweetness, acidity, so we'll start with this a lot of times when we're doing tastings, and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I like that." And then we'll go to the sparkling, and then
Mhm.
we'll come to the the back end.
Right.
Usually, it's pretty smooth. It's not too many tannins. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when people drink it, they'll say, "Oh, it's not too bad," if they don't favor red.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's smooth." So I like it because I feel like it's still a great quality wine, for more experienced wine enthusiasts, but
Mm-hmm.
people that don't typically like reds will still say that they enjoy it as well.
Yeah, it's very approachable. I mean, as soon as you open it, you don't have to decant it right away. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
you
if you
can,
want to,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
you don't have to. You can, and I think you can probably lay it down for a few years,
Yep,
and it
absolutely.
still would be really good. It's interesting that you said your husband um
Mhm,
was a Riesling person because it's funny. I don't know. I don't know if I'm paying attention more
mhm.
or this is the trend, but it's funny, we will do these wine events and like these big burly men will come over and they may have been smoking a cigar or what have you, and they'll drink in a bourbon, and then you ask them what wine they like and they're like a Riesling and it doesn't
It does.
compute.
Yeah.
It just doesn't compute at
Right,
all, but
right, right.
it's interesting to see how, which is, I think it's great. People have range in
Mhm.
their palate and what they like, and introducing the Smallback, which is
Yes.
really fruity. I think that also helps too.
Yes, yes, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, especially with, people that prefer, like sweeter wines. You're right. It does have a fruitiness to it, so kinda crossovers well. And I've heard this even with the cigars, since you mentioned that, I've had, cigar smokers love pairing this thing with, and it depends on the cigar because I've had some say the Cabernet was better with a
Hmm.
certain, I think milder cigar, but the Malbec for some folks was better with a, heavier or stronger cigar. I'm not a cigar smoker, so don't I don't wanna say it
Oh,
wrong.
yes, I understand.
But we've kinda gotten them, away from like a whiskey or a bourbon to try
Hmm.
the reds, and I think it goes well from what I've been told.
No, I think it definitely complements a cigar. So you said you had been doing this since 2022?
Yes,
Oh,
2022. Yes.
so you just started now.
Yes. Yes, yes. It's been a process. That's what I talked
Uh-huh.
about, the process, and
Yes.
we still going through it a little bit. I've been meaning to actually I saw you do a live earlier, and, I like the challenge you're doing because
Oh, please pray for me. Yes.
because I was like, "Oh, I should do that." No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm a prayer that you make all 30 days.
I know, please. Like today is day one. It's kind of like, when you go on a diet and you're like, yes, I'm gonna eat that
That
apple. I'm gonna and like
that
day
momentum.
three. Right. Day three, you're like, oh well.
I don't really want no apples anymore.
Right. Exactly.
I want
So
a,
yeah,
french fry or something.
right. I'm just gonna have one fry.
One
Just
fry,
one
yes.
fry. Yes. So I'm gonna try to do it for 30 days. So thank
Okay,
you.
even if you do, like a minute, that might be
Right. It doesn't have to
that's
be long.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I think that's good. No, I was saying that I wanted to do one because we've been getting out there this year just to, starting to do tastings to get our brand out there. We are still waiting on some license to sell, directly to consumers. We are a wholesaler, though we have started, selling wholesale to retailers. And we are in a few retailers, actually, as of today, 5, which I'm excited about.
Congratulations. Please tell everybody what
I
retailers you.
will, I will. So currently, as I write to make sure I don't forget, Hudson Coastal. So all here in Maryland for now, but we hope to expand. Hudson Coastal Raw Bar and Grill, which is in Howard County in Fulton, Maryland. Blue Wind Gourmet, which
Okay.
is in Lexington Park, which is actually in St. Mary's County. Urban Grape in Northwest DC.
Mhm.
And we aren't selling on our website yet, but Urban Grape sells it on with their website. So you can always go to Grape's website and buy our wines. Anna Beth's in Annapolis. We just got into there. Actually, we should be in there probably early next week once we make the delivery, and then Cheers and Spirits in Annapolis. So we're working, to get into some retail stores and get out there and get people to really know, the brand. But when you get out there, people want to buy, like they want it,
Right.
especially when you go to
Mhm.
festivals. And I don't want to lose like people's trust because the process with the licensing has been daunting. I won't say daunting
Mhm.
because the licensing regulators, that's my people. I won't. I love them. They're working with me, and because I have local as well as the Argentine wines, it's a little bit different.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
a little bit a longer process, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and I promise I won't stop until we get there and we're able to do direct to consumer sales. Because I get a lot of that, and I'm from New Orleans. I have a lot of family in other states that want to purchase.
Mhm.
So we're working on it. We're working on it. But yeah, I kept going. I was like, I'm gonna do a live and just explain to people where we are. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a live. So I'm telling y'all now, we're coming. It's
You're
just
going good.
bear with us. Yes.
That is so. What's the long term goal? Like I know that you want to build legacy, and I think it's wonderful that the brand is named after your son. But like, where do you see? And I hate when people ask me this, but where do you see the brand growing?
Globally, that's
Mm-hmm.
I have big faith, so globally, but, we're starting locally. I hope to expand into other states, eventually, I say short-term goals and then long term. So my short
Mm-hmm.
term is to get into, a couple of other states or, even, like, spreading in the Northeast region. I definitely want to get into the Southeast region because, Louisiana, I mean, obviously, so expanding nationally and then hoping to, expand beyond that as well. But yeah, that's we got some time, but we gonna keep pushing. We gonna keep
That is good.
pushing.
That is good. Are you going to keep the portfolio smaller, or do you plan to add different varietals to it?
Now that's a hard question. I actually initially I wanted to keep it small. I think
Mhm.
what I have is a lot right now. Like 5 to me is a lot. But I am proud of the portfolio in that it appeals to, everyone, except for some people that want a really, really sweet and they say the semi-sweet is not sweet enough. Um, but I will probably expand. I've thought about doing, some limited lines under the brand.
Mhm.
Um, and I've actually tasted a few different things. I want to do make some more actually. I was going to do a different varietal this year locally, but we just launched this and I'm like, we need to, do stay with where we are, get the direct to consumer sales. We've gotten great feedback, especially because this is a local here in Maryland on the
Mhm.
APA. So I stuck with that. So we harvested the grapes already. We're now fermenting. So right now, I think within this next year, definitely I'm sticking with, the varietals that we have. But I do hope to expand. Um, and I don't know, there's so many other things that I like, that, I want to try, so but I think that I may do, like, I don't know, I'm gonna see how well these 5 do, and
Mhm.
these will stay as the 5 staple depending on, how they continue to do, and if not, then, maybe switch some things around, but I definitely want to do I started out with this being a, like a tribute to my mom.
Right.
Wasn't supposed to be named after my son, to be honest,
Mhm.
but everyone thought that was a great name, so I went with it. But, I want to do, like, a limited line, kinda,
Mhm.
an ode to my mother, maybe do one for my daughter, continuing a legacy. But yeah, I definitely now I definitely think that I'll expand at some point, but you're just gonna kind of give it some time and let people get to know, the brand and where we are, especially as we try to grow, nationally, just kind of I don't want to out overdo it, I guess.
Right, right. Denise, who
Yes,
is
yes,
the wise one, the sage.
yes, yes,
Um, her and I were talking, and she said, Donne Burson, from Lafette,
yes, yes,
Rosé.
yes, yes.
She said he built a whole brand around one wine.
On wine. Yes, yes, yes. So my cousin told me that when I first started, I had, my family taste the 16 wines that I got from the importer.
Mm-hmm.
And, my cousin, he lives in California, and he was like, so shout out to Mark Spears. He was like, "Look, you can do one. All you need is one," you know?
Exactly.
You're right. Camus was one of my favorites for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest they ran the Cabernet, and that Cabernet was it. Now they branched off, other family members have some other, varietals or different
Right.
Cabernets, but I was like, "Yeah, good brand doesn't need a whole lot, one wine." But yeah, it's true. He did. He did one wine.
And
With
then
all the
slowly just added, like he just
yes,
added his
of
red
red.
blend.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
added the red blend. So I mean, if you want to have, just like in basketball, your starting five,
Yeah. Yes, that's good.
stick
Yeah,
stick with your starting five,
exactly, exactly.
and then you can
Yeah,
have some franchise agents
later on down the
around.
line. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, but I want people to get to know the starting 5 first.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get into people's homes and make this a staple, and then we can expand from there.
Yes. So I always ask people
Mhm.
um
This sound
if
like a hard question.
no, it isn't. It isn't. It's not a hard question. Um if you could only drink one wine for the rest of your days,
Oh my god.
what would it be?
Oh, jeez. That's hard because there's so many I haven't tasted yet. But, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is Cabernet.
Really?
Yeah, yep, yep, yes. It's the first thing that comes because Cabernet is my favorite. Like, when I started, I was like, "I have to have a Cabernet." Like, I can't not
Mhm.
have a
Mhm.
Cabernet.
Okay.
Um Yeah, and it's so many I mean, with any, varietal, of course, there can be so many different things you can do with it, so many complexities, that comes along with it. I mean, from tannins, some of them are a little I feel like ours is not as tannic, it's a little bit smoother,
Mhm.
some of the others that I like. But if I go somewhere and I just want something and like I wanna play it safe, like, that's my play it safe is the Cabernet Sauv Cabernet Franc. I mean, I just like I don't know what it is, but it's yeah, probably Cabernet. Something about the Cabernet that has captured my heart.
Were you always a cab drinker?
No, absolutely not. No. Of course, I didn't start out drinking Cab, no.
Mhm.
I mean, I started with sweets, like, when I was
Okay.
younger, and I won't say the age because we start early in New Orleans, but, no, I started out sweet wines, and, like, people in my family would like, adults in my family would drink at the time, would drink, like, white Zinfandels, which I
Mhm.
hate now. I had to taste it for the certification I'm doing, and I was like, "I don't even wanna do it." Like, but so I
Mhm.
started out with sweet, I used to favor white, um, and I used to drink Sauvignon Blanc, like, I love a good Chenin Blanc, Viognier, I mean, like, I was white, and then I crossed over to reds at some point, and, a lot of people I would hang with people, and a lot of times wine drinkers would go to reds, and I was like,
Mhm.
you like a red so much?" Like, it just wasn't as appealing to me, until I had a good one. That's why I say, like a lot of novice, like, I'm like, you have to have a great red wine, to see what it can really be. But no, I did not start out drinking red. And not Cabernet. I used to love Malbec actually.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love, and I can't, it's a brand that I really love. Gascon is one, I think, and there's another one. But I love that I would buy like, well, old coworker and I would buy them by the case, split the case of Malbec. I love Pinot Noir, and I still
Uh-huh.
love a good Pinot Noir. Um, those I think Malbec might have been, like, the first red I don't think I definitely didn't start with Cabernets even when I turned over to reds,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's my favorite now, maybe where
Yeah.
I'm in life, I don't know, maybe my palate has matured a little bit,
There
I don't
you go. Well,
feel
look,
feel mature.
I I completely get what you're talking about, is starting off young
Mhm.
without
Right, aging.
incriminating anyone. But I remember being in a cousin's pickup truck. Actually, she was driving her dad's truck, and we would go through the drive-through daiquiri stands.
Yep, 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 yeah.
And
Yes,
so
yes,
I fully
yeah,
understand what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, I used to
Hmm.
drink I can't like, I'll try to drink daiquiris now, the sugar, I can't do it.
It's a lot.
It's too
Hmm.
sweet. It is way too sweet, but yes, we did that faithfully, as I was growing up, the drive-through daiquiri sh absolutely. Um, I mean, I drank all the bad stuff when I was I'm like, I don't want Asian. I mean, like, the Mad Dog 2020 and all the bad. I'm not gonna go.
Well, that's why your palate has evolved. And when you have it now, and I appreciate, like, with even with your off dry wine,
Mhm.
that it's no sugar added, like it's
Yeah,
the natural fermentation.
yeah.
And Jeff is giving us the side eye. Um, but it's the natural fermentation. And what people forget is that we are drinking adult grape juice. Like, grapes are so
Exactly.
naturally sweet.
Yeah,
You really do not need that added
need the sugar.
to
Yes,
it.
yes.
And what's so funny about it is when you said, like, some people don't think it's sweet enough, it's because people are not used to that natural sugar.
Exactly, exactly, and especially I think, here I'm not saying everybody here in the US, I've tasted, as I said, some phenomenal,
Hmm.
but we can add sugar, and so even if we think it's great, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have sugar added, and our palates have been accustomed to that, and we're
Right.
used to that. So yes, like you said, when we taste something that doesn't have it, it seems so foreign to us. And I always tell people, give the wine a chance. Like, don't take the first sip and just say, I don't like it.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, um, keep sipping, swirl it around in your mouth, at least do 3 sips at least. But, yes, I agree. Like, we're so used to sugar that, when we have the natural, it seems foreign. But yeah, it's that's my husband. That's and Jeffrey is my cousin, so he knows those days that
Right.
I'm referring to. Yeah, I mean, we've had yeah, Imma leave it at that. We yes. Yes, Imma leave it at that. But I don't wanna know your answer to that question, and I guess I missed that when you done other lives. I don't know if anybody else
Oh,
asked you. If there was one you could drink for the rest of your days, what would it be?
that's a hard one. That is a hard one because I am a big red wine drinker too,
Mhm.
and I go back and forth, and I like obnoxious reds, like Tanats, Pinotage.
Oh,
Like, I
mhm.
really like those
I
punch
love a
you in
good
the
peanut
face
pie.
ones,
Yes, yes.
um, type of wines. But I think for right now, I would do like, I, I'm on this whole South African thing, so I would do a South African Bordeaux blend. Like
Okay.
I
Oh,
could drink that 24/7 and I would be
okay.
happy.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
like a Merlot heavy
yes. Yeah.
uh
Yep.
blend.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. South Africa has.
Yes.
I saw you going there. I'm gonna hope I have some other trips coming, but I really wish I could join. Yeah, that's
Yes.
like January, right?
It's in January. It's in January. So if anybody who's listening and
Yeah,
they want to go to South Africa, and we're going during harvest time, so
yeah.
we will
That's
be
sweet.
in the vineyards.
They might put y'all to work and harvest.
Yeah, that's true too.
They might put y'all to work and harvest is brutal, but
Hmm.
you'll learn a lot.
That I always tell people, like, if you're looking for a lower body workout, do a
Oh,
harvest.
yeah, that's true. That
Do,
is true.
do
You
a
will get
harvest.
it. You will get it in harvest. Yes, yes,
Yeah, you will have buns of steel.
yes. You might be sore,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you look good. You might look good.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And please tell people how they can find you on your socials. We know that you're in stores, and so if you want to put that in the comments so people can find you there. But definitely, we want people to be able to find you.
Okay, okay. So yeah, definitely. I always ask people to go to my website, and I'm putting that in the comments. It's romanclarkwines.com. We're, as I said, we're not selling there yet. It will say coming soon. However, give us your email address. We will, start Well, we have been communicating. We actually will be sending a communication shortly. We've been getting in a lot of stores now, and we're working to get into more. So we were kind of holding off on a communication, but we will be sending an email. To let people know where we are in stores, from the email addresses we received on the website. My socials is Roman.Clarke on Instagram. So Roman.Clarke Wines. And I'm going to put that in the chat. And then Facebook is Roman Clarke Wines. Put that in the chat too. And we working on the other it's a lot of socials, but we're working on the other ones.
Oh yeah, you could be you could be out social spending all
Yeah.
of your day
Yes, and
doing
then
that.
for people local here to Maryland, I do wanna mention, so we have some events coming up, next weekend, is busy. We have Thursday, Blazers, Bourbons, and Cigars. We're doing tastings there, that's in Annapolis. Um And if you Google it, it'll come up. I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it's like William Packer House or something. House and Garden is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. So we will be there doing tastings, and that's Thursday. Friday, we are at, well, I'm doing actually I think they're sold out of this if you're into golf, but Queens and Kings and Queens of the Green are they're doing a golf tournament at Oak Creek Golf Club in Blue
Mhm.
Island. So I will be doing tastings there as well. And that evening in the restaurant at Oak Creek Golf Club, I will be doing tastings as well. So I'm not sure of the time, but it's that evening, probably around 6 to 8, 5 to 7, somewhere around that time. Um, and then that Saturday, September 28th, the Unwind Festival in Upper
We'll
Marlboro.
be there.
Oh, good.
We'll
Okay.
be there. Hmm.
Okay, good. So I see you there. Yes. Yeah, they actually have been on it. Like I think they got like what she said, 3 or 500 people when we had a meeting for the vendors.
Hmm.
Um, so and then I got a mailer in the mail about it. I was like, oh, they're really advertising. But
Which
that
is good. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's been kind of sparse in previous years, so it's good
yeah.
that they're really.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that should be really good, but they said they're doing really good, with registrants this year. And then, I may have something on the 12th. We still kind of working that out. I did Savor Bowie in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about doing that. The fall one is I think the 11th and the 12th. But we update this on our website as well, the events, as well as I said, where we're in stores. And then the 19th of October, we will be at the DC Wine Festival. And that's at Union Station.
Oh, excellent. You are busy.
I know, I know. I took a little break, because I knew the fall would be, you know, picking
Mm-hmm.
up. But yeah, that's why I was kind of like hesitant with the Saber Buoy. But we had a really good time. That was like our first big festival we did in the spring, and very well received. People were mad at me because I couldn't sell at the time. So that's kind of why I was holding off, because I'm like, I mean, when I tell you they were mad and we had a line and I was standing up for like 7 hours straight
Yes. Mm-hmm.
because the line did not stop. But yeah, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna wait and see, hopefully we have this license in time, but I don't want to disappoint them again. But yes, we still have a lot of events coming up, where yeah, you can, and then I'm gonna put I think this is their website. I hope it is. I think it's I'm just gonna put website in and I'll put the name. So if you want to purchase and you're not in the Maryland area, you
Uh-huh.
can go to Urban Grapes website and it's the DC location, to purchase online. Um, and yeah, you can get it from them directly now if you're not in the DC area. However, as I said, if you are in the DMV area, we have four other places in Maryland, aside from Urban Grape, where we are as well.
Okay, I'm putting it in the urban grape
Oh,
in the
okay.
chat. Yeah, in the chat that you have is our internal chat.
Oh, I didn't even recognize that. I thought,
Yeah, but that's okay. I just put it
sorry.
in. I put it in the chat here so people
Okay.
will be able to pick it up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. No problem.
So
Well,
much, Leslie.
thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad we were able to do this, and I enjoyed it.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
another Louisianian to
yes. So and I love the Saints because they kicked Dallas's butt this weekend. So um
who that, who that, who that. Okay, and no apologies to the Cowboys fan. None, none
exactly.
at all. Okay, not doing it. Okay, Bravo
Exactly.
for all
So
day. No, no.
right. Oh,
Now, hopefully this week will be the
oh
same.
well, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm sorry, say that again.
No, I said hopefully this week we, continue on the winning streak.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like, you know what? This was like my Super Bowl because the Commanders won and
Yeah,
Dallas lost.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I felt good.
Yeah,
And
we need to keep that momentum going.
thank you. Small victories. That's what I say.
Exactly. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Well, have a good evening, everyone. And stay tuned for our next virtual tasting. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks, everyone.